we interrupt this program to bring you Courage, the Cowardly Dog Show, starring Courage, the Cowardly Dog!
Hey there, ghosts and ghouls, Warlock Boo here. Today, I'm reviewing a show that helped me inspire this channel, a show that is a big part of my childhood, and a show that I am completely obsessed with and love to death. This show is perfect for the spooky time of year, for all ages. This show is Courage, the Cowardly Dog Show. Now, what is Courage? Courage, the Cowardly Dog Show first appeared on a cartoon in 1996. A show that was where kids could pick the winner to be the next big cartoon on Cartoon Network, and Courage won. It's hard to see how he couldn't with what it was about. And it started airing in November 12th, 1999, which I think they missed a grand time to have put it in October because of what the show's about, but whatever. And it ended its run in November 2nd, 2002. Although there is an extra episode on YouTube you can watch that they made in 2015, 2016. It's a CGI version, but it's all the old voice actors and creators coming back, all except the voice actor of Eustace, who died. Sorry. But what is Courage the Cowardly Dog about, you may ask? Courage the Cowardly Dog is about Courage, a little beagle who lives with his owners, Eustace, a very mean, grumpy farmer, and Muriel, a very sweet Scottish woman, in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, on a farm, and them being completely oblivious to the horrors going on and him having to save them, even though he's cowardly, he's terrified of everything. Now, the show itself has a fairly easy format. They're doing something normal, something spooky happens, he has to save them all, and usually what's spooky isn't as spooky as he thought, although sometimes it turns out it's more terrifying than what he thought. And there's always a closing joke or gag, usually involving Courage saying, "This shouldn't happen to a dog," something around that. It uses a very cartoony look, a very cartoony formula. Courage has popped his head off to get off of a leash, and put it back on, done some very cartoony things to communicate. Like, he usually turns into things to try and show them what's happening, and they don't understand it. It's a very funny gags, and it has a lot of slapstick humor and a lot of jump scare humor. Now, it is a horror show, but it's also a comedy, and it was made with children in mind, and you can see that. Although adults will get a lot from the show. There are jokes that'll go over kids' heads, references, things like that. And you will, as an adult, you can think of, what the heck were the writers thinking? This is disturbing. But as a kid, you're thinking, oh no, the monster's going to get him, but Courage will save the day. The show animation for it is pretty good. It has a nice little cartoony look to it, which I really do like. The music for it is unusual, to say the least. It's weirder than just listen to some of this music from the show. That was weird, right? I'm not the only one that thinks that music's weird. Also, for some reason, Muriel plays the sitar, which seems out of place until you actually know the history of it. Now, this show, one of the executives of Cartoon Network, she really liked it, so she helped them quite a bit to get this on the air. She even gave Eustace, the old man, he likes to scare Courage, and originally they were going to have him shoot at Courage with a shotgun, but she said, no, we can't do that on TV. So she drew a little mask and said, use this to scare him instead, and now Eustace uses the mask. And for all the help she gave them, they dedicated one thing about Muriel to her, and that's the sitar. She in real life plays the sitar. So for Muriel playing the sitar, it's actually a connection. So if as a kid or nowadays you didn't understand that, that's why. Actually, my the channel that owns me, Frederator, did 107 facts on Courage the Cowardly Dog, which you really need to check out because it does go into some neat facts about this. But enough of me sucking up to them. The Courage is actually a very popular series. It has a very strong cult following to it. And it's easy to see why. Although there are some flaws with the show. Some of the episodes, I don't feel like they knew fully what they were going to do with it. And it just feels thrown together a bit. And like they had an idea and they just wanted to go with it, but they couldn't figure out fully what to do with it. And some of the episodes do suffer from that. Not a lot, but enough that it is noticeable. Some of the episodes border along the weirdness, and you're not really sure if certain episodes are canon or alternate universes because they don't always connect. I mean, you get episodes that actually connect very well together. Usually when Courage survives at the end, it connects with every other episode. But a few of them don't. They're weird. They feel out of place. It's just unusual and strange, but not bad. Now, the writing on the show is pretty good. Everyone feels like they should. Although they do reuse some characters in weird places, such as the butcher is also the same as the guy that runs the restaurant that tried to kill her Courage once, but now isn't trying to kill Courage once. It's weird and it's bizarre to say the least. But it's not bad. It's nice to see throwbacks to other episodes and see characters. The bad guys of this show are one of the standouts of the show. Great bad guys. They have very few reoccurring bad guys, but that's not bad. A lot of them are based off horror monsters, off horror ideas, urban legends, things like that. You have a witch that travels through puddles and lures men in like a siren and then eats them. You have one guy that's naughty, as he puts it, and likes to shave people, but I'm pretty sure he may be raping them, actually, or murdering them. It is very up for debate. Then we have the Cats. Cats is a reoccurring bad guy, which is unusual. The show doesn't have much, but Cats fills the void for whenever they need a bad guy and they don't know who to use. So they use Cats. And Cats is awesome. He is everything Courage isn't. Courage is terrified. He is nervous. He is loyal. Cats is not loyal. He is very knows what he's doing. He is in charge. He is very not nervous. It's amazing. And the music they have for Cats whenever he comes in is just great.
Hello. Welcome to Club Cats. I'm Cats, your host.
I mean, that's great. Cat's lines, Cat's voice, Cat's everything. Courage has a high-pitched, almost Yiddish accented voice, while Cats has that deep, in-charge voice. And they contrast each other perfectly. And I think he's a great kind of main bad guy. But some of the other bad guys I do wish would have reoccurred. A lot of them were just good. The only other really reoccurring bad guy is Eustace's mom, a little old lady that seems to love Courage, but I have a feeling she was actually very abusive to Eustace, and it would explain a lot about his personality. Another reoccurring character is Eustace's brother, who he's always trying to live up to the reputation of and is now dead, and also a little gypsy chihuahua, I think, who's cursing people constantly. Now, this show does stand the test of time really well. I mean, you can easily go back to an episode now and watch it and laugh, because they use so much of the old-timey stylings of movies tropes. It doesn't feel like they're trying to cash in on modern stuff. Now, I do wish it had another season. A lot of people do say that all the time, but it had 4 seasons. At least according to Wikipedia, although I remember hearing it only had 3. Which is actually a good lifespan for a cartoon, especially like this. It is unusual, it is strange, but it is funny. And the creators, from what I heard, have actually wanted to do more seasons, but I don't think we will ever get more seasons of Courage, at least with the same team. Although the creator does have a new show coming out called Goose and Heels or something like that, but I'm not 100% sure about that. You also see throwbacks to a lot of his older work, such as work he did for Sesame Street and other shows. You'll see characters popping up constantly. Naughty Bird, things like that always pop up in the show in the background. And it's a nice little throwback if you know his work. Now, the theme song for the show is just great. It has the really old-timey feel to it that I do like, and it is easily quotable. It doesn't actually have words to the theme song, except an announcer that comes up always saying, and talking about courage, how he has to save people, and things like that. It's a great intro, and you know what's coming. Now, each episode is roughly 15 minutes, 2 15-minute episodes for a 30-minute longer episode. There are a few that are two-parted or just straight up 30 minutes. But let's talk about one of the more unusual episodes. There is one episode called The Mask or Wrong Side of the Tracks. I can't remember its full name. But it is about a cat that comes in a mask, a cat woman, and rents a room in their house, and Courage thinks she's a monster. So he goes to find someone he keeps hearing her mention, named Bunny. Bunny is being held by an abusive boyfriend and is secretly in love with Kitty, the cat in the mask. At the end, Courage gets them back together and they run off together. They say they're friends, but this episode leads off to think Bunny's been being abused by this Doberman Pinscher dog boyfriend and is secretly in love with Kitty, and Kitty's in love with her, and they run off together. I am shocked Cartoon Network let that one air. It is one of the shocks. They have a lot of episodes like this that is shocking. The imagery can be scary. The imagery can be terrifying and nightmare fuel, but because of the comicalness of it, it never feels like that. It never feels like they went too far. That's something else I think the show does right. Now, I obviously like the show. You can tell I really enjoy the show. I watched it with my mom, my brother, my sisters, my dad. They all like it. And there's one thing in the show that I think modern kids will like too. And modern parents, why it's scary, why it can be a little weird humored. It is always about compassionate scenes. This show always has Courage being compassionate to everyone, no matter who they are. He tries to help them. He tries to show them kindness. Even monsters, hideous things, he is always there to see. Well, sure, he gets scared at first, but when he sees who they are, he tries to be kind to them. He tries to be good to them. And I generally like that. I think it is sweet. I think it is nice. In the long run, I give Courage the Cowardly Dog a solid watch this show. It is awesome, and you will be a better person for it, and things like that. Now, tell me if you like Courage. Did you like it? Do you not? Is there a reason you don't like it? Give me a reason down below. I would like to know. I'd like to know if any kind of flaws I missed, any weirdness I missed. I do. This one was basically me just gushing about a show I like that I have wanted other people to know about. Because while a lot of people know, a lot of people don't know at the same time. Or their parents thought it was too weird and wouldn't let them watch. But on this time of year, I figure it is a great show to go back and watch for fans and non-fans alike. It is just great. But again, down below, tell me what you like. And if you like this video, hit that like button. And hit the subscribe if you want more. I do one of these every Sunday. And I'll narrate a horror story every Tuesday, and Thursday is my extra day. Although this Tuesday, I am doing something unusual. I am doing a second review. I know it's Halloween and I should put out a horror story, but it is also my son's birthday. So I let him pick. He's turning 8. And his pick is for me to review the new Mario Odyssey game he got for his birthday. So I'm going to do that for him. You can complain to me all you want, or you can hit that bell icon and get news when I put it up. But until then, this has been Warlock Boo, hoping to be spoken y'all later. Bye.